The cobblestone streets of CHOW were particularly bouncy this afternoon, shimmering under the emerald glow of the mountains, as Brock and DjimBro made their way toward the center of the town. Brock, usually the picture of athletic composure, was dragging his feet, looking confused, at times gazing at the clouds with an empty look. "I'm telling you, DjimBro," Brock whispered, his voice trembling. "That cappuccino from Miss Pennyapple, my soul left my body, and for a second I saw very bright lights." DjimBro adjusted his jacket, his smooth, egg-shaped head gleaming. "Man, you've got to learn the hard-boiled defense. When she offers a drink, you just harden. But hey, at least you're glowing, literally. You're leaving a faint trail of neon purple on the sidewalk." DjimBro grinned. "I couldn't help it," Brock wheezed, sounded like he's giving up. "Despite my brain telling me to say no, my mouth said yes, please." A tragic tale of leafy chivalry," DjimBro sighed. Suddenly, a cavernous rumble echoed through the street. It was DjimBro's stomach. "The beast awakes," DjimBro muttered, clutching his midsection. "Where are we fueling? I need intake." The conversation of where to have lunch was never an easy one. "We could hit the aggressive onion," Brock suggested tentatively. "I hear they have a new lick of the week special." "Nah," DjimBro made a face. "Last time I went there, the waiter cried when I asked for a napkin. Too much drama." "What about Madam Melon's moose mansion?" "Too much air. I need substance. I need gravity," Brock sighed. Then they both went silent. They looked at each other. A shared shadow of dread and desire passed between them. They both knew there was only one place that satisfied the soul while terrifying the spirit. We could go to the place," DjimBro whispered. The name didn't need to be spoken. "No," Brock whispered, his florets trembling. "Not the Dragon's Den, not the House of Skulls. We promised never again." "But the bouncy noodles, Brock," DjimBro countered, his voice trembling with hunger. "And the broth, oh my. Don't get me started on the broth." His mouth started to salivate. But Mr. Doughla," Brock whimpered. "We are adult men, Brock. I have an eggshell of steel. You are the iron floret." DjimBro puffed out his chest. "We can handle one grumpy chef. For the noodles!" "For the noodles then, and the broth." Brock's voice crackled, knees shaking, unconvinced of the life choice they had just made. They stood before the modest wooden door of Doughla's noodle shop. A sign stuck on the door. It says, "Eat and go. No lingering." They pushed the door open. It made a creaking sound. And then they saw him, the figure they had been dreading to see. Far across the room, behind a dramatic cloud of steam and flour dust, so dramatic that one might think Mr. Doughla deliberately put them up every time someone came in through the door. There stood Mr. Doughla. He did not move. He did not blink. He did not speak. He just stared. It wasn't just a stare. It was the legendary death stare, so sharp it made two adult men felt like they were 7-year-olds about to get scolded for eating too much sweets before going to bed. They stood frozen at the entrance. DjimBro let out a tiny high-pitched whimper. Brock felt a sudden overwhelming urge to apologize for every mistake he had made since the 3rd grade. "I wanna go home," DjimBro whimpered, his cool exterior evaporating instantly. "He's looking at my soul, Brock. He doesn't like what he sees." "Sit," Doughla barked. His voice sounded like 2 grinding millstones. "Any empty table." Brock swallowed hard. He was fairly certain that he saw Mr. Doughla engulfed in some kind of aura. Or maybe just flower dust. Either way, the guy knew how to make an entrance. Absolutely anywhere, sir? Absolutely any table in this fine establishment?" "Yes," Doughla growled, turning back to kneading the dough on the kitchen bench. "Anywhere you like." Relieved, the two scurried toward a spacious, sunny table with 4 comfortable chairs with extra padding near the window. And when they were about to sit, a wooden spoon slammed onto the kitchen bench like a thunder. "Thwack! Not there!" Doughla roared. DjimBro froze. But you said anywhere we like." Doughla turned slowly. His eyes bulged. "Yes, anywhere you like, but not there. I see 4 chairs, and do I see 4 of you?" DjimBro looked at Brock and whispered, "Are we supposed to answer that question?" Brock looked back at DjimBro, looking frightened, and replied, "Well, it's a question. And a question needs an answer." DjimBro braved himself and said, No sir, only the 2 of it. Anywhere you like." Brock and DjimBro exchanged a frantic silent look. "Abort! Abort!" their eyes screamed. Without a word, they scuttled over to a tiny 2-person table tucked in a dark corner at the far end of the shop. "Is this okay?" Brock whispered. Doughla didn't answer. He just grunted, which they took as a yes. "Now be quiet and order some food." "2 bowls of the zesty zinc, please, and a platter of stick secrets to share, please," DjimBro squeaked when Doughla stomped over with a notepad. Doughla turned around grumbling, walked to the kitchen, and tut, tut, clack. Before the door had even finished swinging, 2 steaming bowls of noodles and a bamboo steamer were slammed onto their table. "Wait," Brock whispered, staring at the swirling steam. "I didn't even have time to adjust my napkin. How is this physically possible? Are you bending time? Is the kitchen in a different dimension?" "The dough waits for no man," Doughla hissed. "Stop analyzing and start chewing." The noodles and the broth were, as always, a religious experience. They were perfection. They were life-changing. Then DjimBro opened the bamboo steamer. He paused. He counted, and he counted again. His face fell. No, this cannot be.